These are my first impressions of the Alesis Crimson Model 2. That's coming up. What's up? Justin here. Welcome to 65 Drums. This is the place to keep on top of all things electronic drum related, so thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going over my first impressions of the Alesis Crimson Model 2. I've played both the Model 1 and Model 2. People have been wondering about the differences between both those drum sets, which is the better buy and all that. So that's what this video is all about. So let's go over the pads first, because both of these kits have nearly identical pads. Both drum sets have a 12-inch dual zone mesh snare that's on a dedicated snare stand. All of the tom pads, the kick drum pad, the snare, they're all mesh pads. You got 8-inch high toms, a 10-inch floor tom, 12-inch hi-hat, 12-inch crash, and a 14-inch ride cymbal, and it's all sitting on this chrome rack. It's a very nice package of pads. One of the main ways to tell a difference between both these drum sets is that the Model 1 drum set has a blue screen, the Model 2 has a red screen. I prefer the blue screen because it's a lot easier to read. I found myself sort of leaning forward trying to read the red screen and like the white letters on it. So I kind of don't like the red screen, but it is a nice way to differentiate between the two drum sets. Also, the other big differentiation is the fact that Model 2 has an extra crash cymbal, and I think that's the single reason why it's $1,100 versus $1,000 for the base Model 1 Crimson drum set. Now, unfortunately, the Alesis website is pretty unclear about the specs of both of these drum modules. The Model 1 has over 600 sounds. That's all they say about it. The Model 2 has 671 sounds. So technically, they both could have the same number of sounds. We don't know, because the Model 1 just says it has over 600 sounds. Although we do know that the Model 2 does have more kits inside of the drum module, so maybe they did add a few extra sounds, or they could have just possibly mixed and matched different sounds to create a few extra kits for the Model 2 version. I thought the Model 2 version sounded a little bit better, but I don't know for sure. But really, the big advantage of buying this drum set isn't the sounds, because all drum sets at this price point, including the Roland TD11, the DTX 500 line, I don't really like the sounds of any of those drum modules, really. The big thing about this drum set is the fact that it has two crash cymbals and very large mesh drum pads for $1,100. And for some people, that extra crash cymbal is a big enough reason for them to switch and not buy the Crimson Model 1 and jump to the Model 2. So as far as these drum sets go as a whole, I like them a lot. The only problem with them is the fact that they have sucky cymbals. They're using those same Medeli cymbals. I have 4 of them. 3 of the 4 are broken in some way, including the hi-hat just splitting in half. I bought a floor model version of a Cat Percussion KT4 drum module, or drum set, and they're all using these Medeli cymbals. I know this one looks different than those Crimson cymbals, but it's exactly the same. It's just gray instead of black. And these just aren't known for lasting a very long time. But if there's one thing I've learned about drummers getting into electronic drums from doing this channel, I've learned that drummers are willing to take a risk and buy a very large electronic drum set for just a little bit of cash, and they're willing to maybe replace a cymbal later on down the line, or maybe replace this later on down the line. If you want to buy this drum set, I totally understand. Use it with drum software, because you're not going to find a drum set at this price range that sounds amazing. So if you're going to buy this drum set, buy it, use it with drum software, and get a warranty on it. Some websites, they let you get a warranty for like 5 years for 50 bucks. If you're going to buy a drum set like this, consider getting that warranty so that you can get those cymbals replaced free of charge if they break. I'm not saying they will break. All I'm saying is that my drum set, 3 out of 4 of them have broken in some way, shape, or form. That's my thoughts on that. I want to talk about the Alesis DM10 MK2 stage. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's studio kit, sorry. This thing is also $1,100. The reason why I want to talk about it is because it looks very, very similar to the Alesis Crimson Model 2. Very, very similar. It's got 2 crash cymbals. It's using the same drum module. The specs of the drum module are precisely the same as the Crimson Model 2 drum module. So it looks like a very similar drum set. The only major pad difference is the fact that the snare is 10 inches across and it's mounted to the drum rack itself. It's not on a dedicated snare stand. So you're getting a smaller snare drum pad for the exact same price. Now, if you're a guy that wants to set up and tear down really, really quickly, maybe you don't want to have a snare that's mounted to a snare stand. You want something that's mounted to the drum rack itself. Maybe that's why you would buy this kit. But just if you're in the market for an Alesis Crimson or a DM10 MK2 Studio kit, you might as well just buy the Alesis Crimson Model 2 because they're the exact same price and you're getting a larger snare pad. So that's what I wanted to talk about on that front. And while we're talking about the Alesis DM10 MK2 Studio, let's talk about the Pro version of that. People have been asking me about this kit for quite a while now. The problem is it's so brand new that no music stores seem to have it, and there are hardly any reviews out there on the internet, so it's still a little bit mysterious. If you want to hear some kit examples, I did find some kit examples of this drum set. I'll link it down below. It sounds better than anything from the Crimson drum sets, but not as good as the Alesis Strike, which is understandable because it's priced right between those two kits. This drum set is $1,300. A lot of drummers are springing for this drum set because, it's a large drum set for $1,300. You can't really find anything bigger for this price. But again, they're skimping on the cymbals because they're still using those Medeli cymbals. So that's the only thing that really makes me pause and not want to recommend it to people. But again, as long as you get a warranty on the thing, you should be okay. But anyway, these were my first impressions of the Alesis Crimson Model 2. If you own the Crimson Model 2, or if you've just played it at a store, let me know what you guys think down in the description below. And yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day. See you later.